Okay, so this is definitely a different type of video than I usually do. Um, it has come to my attention via the probably about 50 different comments within the last day or day and a half. Um, I hate to break it to all of y'all, but I am not Corpse. A lot of people have been coming over from a collab that I just did with Unit 522. Shout out to the big dog. Uh, everybody's in the comments saying, "Hey, I'm glad you're back. Thank you for coming back. Dude, I didn't know you were coming back." I hate to break it to you. I am not Corpse. I am not Corpse. I have never intended on being Corpse. I am not him. I promise you. I know I had a couple of people like DM me saying like, "Oh, you're a liar. You're a liar." I'm just like, dude, if you really sit there and listen to the voices, it's not the same. It truly isn't. Which I get it. It's the deep voice and everything, and even down to some of the illnesses that he has, I actually do have as well. I'm not really going to get into that. I mean, a big one, obviously, the GERD and corrosion on in my throat and stuff like that, on my vocal cords, stuff like that. Which you'll hear that if you do end up staying on my channel and checking out the type of content that I do produce. Which, if you have been subscribed to me for a while, or if you have subscribed to me in the last few days, you'll see that I do a lot of the creepypasta stuff and the sometimes the true stuff like Ouija board stuff like that. Just a lot of horror content and horror related. And if you stay tuned, there will most likely be a story at the end of this, so that for all the new viewers or anybody that this actually reaches with this whole algorithm bullshit, you'll be able to witness that a little bit further down. And I do apologize for all of my rambling, but I just wanted to make sure to clear the air with everybody, so everybody knows that I am not Corpse. I do not plan on trying to be Corpse. I have never told anybody that I am Corpse, and oh, that's also a curious thing. Am I? I've never told anybody. No, I'm just fucking around. But no, I am not. I am just Gemini. I'm Gemini Reads. I started my channel about 2 years ago, and I was always fascinated with the whole horror narrations and everything like that, and I really wanted to get into it, and Corpse definitely was a very big inspiration alongside of Unit 522 and B-Busta, and obviously Mr. Nightmare, and even Booze and Booze, because I was listening to Booze and Booze before I even started doing this, so shout out to you, buddy. But I make my own music as well, and I've gotten comments on that as well saying like, I didn't know that Corpse was doing it under a new name or something, and I'm just like, I am not Corpse. But if you are interested in the music, I will add a little snippet here of some of my music. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Everything is dark. Been right here ever since the fucking start. This ain't boring, ain't no fucking walking parks. Watch out for the reaper with the sleeping darts. I can feel the ash all up on my eyelids, from green to red in my fucking iris. Fucking up internally like it was a virus. Trying to chill out before I hit some blind skids.
But yeah, I just wanted to pretty much just come on here, make sure that everybody knows I am not him. I'm not planning on being him, or vice versa, all of that. He has his community, and it's a very, very big one, and maybe some of the people that are over there with him end up coming over here after this video. Well, if that does happen, I welcome you, and thank you for giving me a shot. All I'm trying to do is make stories, make music, and stuff like that. And But yeah, I just wanted to get on here and say that, and I appreciate your time if you made it all the way. So, with that being said, let's get into a story. My brother and I bought a Ouija board about a year ago while our parents were on a trip. It wouldn't respond when my brother would use it, but when I played alone, it gave me answers every time that I wanted. Before this, I had already experienced some strange things, like hearing voices, episodes of sleep paralysis, stuff like that. I believe it all started about 4 years ago, when my brother and I decided to try something that we saw on YouTube called the dancing chair ritual. Basically, it said play the song Tiptoe Through the Tulips. If the song stopped, it meant that you had summoned a spirit. If it played all the way through, you won the game. If the chair flipped over, you were never supposed to go into that room alone again. We were around 15 and 17 at the time and were very skeptical. During the ritual, the music stopped. We didn't think much of it and just played the rest of the song and then laughed it off. The next night around 3:50 a.m., our bedroom door started slowly rotating. I pointed it out and my brother called out, Papa? Nothing responded. He said it again, and right after he did, the door handle started shaking violently, like someone was trying to rip it off. My brother yelled, "Stop!" And it immediately stopped. He got up, looked around, and no one was there. I really wish I had filmed it. A week or two later, we were at our cousin's and heard the piano start to play. We were confused because all the adults were helping with the move, so we asked around. Everyone said that they hadn't touched the piano. This happened shortly after our great-grandfather passed away. When we asked our dad if he had played the piano, he said no. What terrified me was what he said next. "No, son. Whatever was here when your papa was still alive is now gone." That sent chills down my spine. I also have a video that I can probably get from my dad of a sound that honestly seems like something is dragging a body or something heavy from upstairs. I'll see if I can find it. Sorry for the long message. Just need help. I want to start by saying that all I know about my roommate is that she's a young woman in her 20s who works from home during late night hours, sleeping during the day, and is very private. She keeps entirely to herself. The house I moved into was advertised on Craigslist as having a room for rent in a 3-bedroom home with only one rule. I must respect my roommate's peace and privacy at all times due to her work. I'm a single man in my 30s. I work full-time in an office about 30 miles away during the day, and I'm usually asleep during the hours that she's awake, so I didn't think much of it. It seems like a setup that would work just fine for me. When I arrived, I met the landlord. He lives elsewhere, and he gave me a brief tour of the house. I was immediately impressed. A 2-story, older model home in decent neighborhood, relatively well-maintained, and with shockingly cheap rent. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. My roommate occupies the master bedroom with its own private bathroom, located upstairs at the end of the hallway next to the unused bedroom. During the walkthrough, the landlord suggested that I take the bottom floor bedroom. It's larger than the one upstairs, sits next to a standalone bathroom, and doesn't share a wall with anyone. Perfect for helping me follow that one rule. don't disturb my roommate. It made sense to me. I could tell the landlord was eager to rent the room. He mentioned that the woman had lived there for 2 months but suddenly terminated her lease without a notice, which had really disappointed him. I know there are questions people usually ask before moving into a privately owned place. In retrospect, I can think of a few big ones, but my credit was awful and I have an eviction on my record. Most apartments rejected me, so I was honestly just relieved that this man was willing to let me rent one without even requesting a background check. One question I did manage to ask was whether the other resident was home and whether I'd get to meet her. He gave me only a few details, what I've already shared, about her working nights and being quiet. He told me that her name was Elizabeth. When I asked if I could meet her, he had said that since it was daytime, she was asleep because of her graveyard shift. I thought it was all a bit sudden, but there I was, signing a lease, desperate and aware that my other options were very limited. And at that time of writing this, I've lived here for over a month. I'll add that to this day. I have never met or even seen Elizabeth. There have been times, especially early on, when I texted my landlord to ask if he was sure that Elizabeth lived there full time. Could she be staying with her boyfriend? Does she live a busy social life? Family nearby that she visits days at a time? I asked because even though we're on separate floors, I'd expect to hear at least something occasionally. Fixing food in the kitchen, running the shower, or flushing the toilet. Watching TV. Does she even have a TV? But I know she lives here because she moves things. I come home from work and find my bedroom door open, my blanket from my bed tossed onto the sofa as if someone had used it. The kitchen table chairs will be rearranged like multiple people were sitting there having a meal while I was gone. I rarely use the table, and when I do, it's just one of the chairs. You might ask, why don't you just knock on the door? Try speaking to her. I have. I've knocked on her door late at night when she's supposedly working in there. It creeps me out. There's never any sound, no lights under the door, nothing, and the door is always locked. Not just with the doorknob lock, but with the deadbolt. I've tried leaving notes, taped clearly onto her door, asking questions. They vanish. No response. Just gone. I've stopped telling people in my real life about Elizabeth. Their reactions just freak me out. When I describe the situation, they just stare, waiting for the punchline that never comes. Some people joke about how she's a ghost, but when I don't laugh, they get quiet, uncomfortable, and then they just want to change the subject. When I'd only lived here about a week, coworkers asked why I hadn't met my own roommate yet. By week 2, I was so embarrassed I just lied and said that I had. Even now writing this, all the feelings I try to push down rise up again, the ones that I get every evening on the way home. Will today finally be the day that I see her and we can laugh all about this weirdness? Or will I come home to a kitchen full of cabinet doors and drawers wide open again for no reason? Yeah, that's right. No sense to it. Nothing out of place, like someone was looking for something, just ajar. One drawer halfway open, a cabinet door swung wide. What finally pushes me to write this down, 2 weeks before the point where the last tenant gave up, is what happened last night. I was watching TV in the living room downstairs. One light was on, the only light besides the screen. The switch for the light is just a few feet behind me. I didn't hear anyone come downstairs. I just heard the click of the switch. The light shut off, and suddenly I was in total darkness. I jumped from the sofa and turned around to see nothing but shadows. except for a dark figure quickly moving away into the kitchen. Horrified, I called out, "Elizabeth?" And that's when I heard the fast footsteps above me, racing up the stairs. Nowhere near where I'd seen the figure go. I ran to the switch, flipped it back on, and locked myself in my bedroom. I stayed up the entire night, staring at the door in fear. I don't know what to do. I haven't contacted the landlord yet, but I'm seriously considering it. I don't have anywhere else to go, but right now, even a motel sounds like a good idea. Now, I know that the beginning of this video was actually a lot different than usual, and I do apologize. I just wanted to clear that up. And hopefully you enjoyed either the music that I added in via made by me, and I hope you enjoyed the stories if you lasted that long in the video. Trust me, I know you might not want to. But if you did and you made it all the way through, consider possibly giving me a thumbs up, a comment, a like. I just said like, okay, whatever. Or possibly subscribing. And usually I post every single week, either Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Just depends on what the work schedule looks like. But just know there is always content coming out every single week. But make sure to check out the links in the description. My Spotify has all my music, stuff like that. I've got my Insta, my Twitter, or X, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. If you want to submit a story, my Gmail is also in there. So please consider taking a look at all of it. But with that being said, stay safe, stay scary, and I'll see you in the next one. Maybe I am corpse. No, I really gotta stop doing that. I'm not. I am 100% not. I apologize. Okay, bye.